Welcome back, everyone. Known as the pride of I-95, the Manning High School Golden Pride Marching Band will be getting some national attention this upcoming spring. These musical geniuses have been invited to perform in the nation's capital this May for the annual Memorial Day Parade. Joining us to tell us more about the band is the director of the bands for Manning High School, Jordan Jefferson. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, really appreciate it. Those students are so talented under your leadership. I want to start off by learning more about the band. How do you do it? Because I recently heard you all perform and I felt like I was at like a South Carolina State game or something. I mean, you guys are on point.
Well, thank you for that. We typically begin rehearsing in the summer, what we call band camp. We have camp for about 6 weeks. We start in about July. And then we go all the way to the beginning of school. We map out our show, what our theme's going to be, what our songs are going to be. And then I really try to get the students' input on what they want to play for some parts of the show. And I let them come up with the choreography, let them come up with the movements, so they can have a piece of ownership in the show.
What I noticed when I look at you all perform, I see passion, I see dedication, I see really true to the music in the band. It looks like this is really maybe a saving grace for many of these students as far as giving them something to be involved in that they love doing. How do you get that message to them to take this seriously?
Well, one thing is exposure. Having them out constantly performing in the community at competitions, and not just for marching band, because most of the students in the marching band are a part of the jazz band and are a part of our wind ensemble. They also audition for our state adjudicated performances sponsored by a band association for the state. So they're getting exposure in different areas, and I think it just opens up new avenues to them to where they're understanding I can do something else. It also keeps them out of trouble. It also just helps to foster that music education spirit that schools need. We are the heartbeat of the school.
Yes,
so
yes.
It's important to have that.
I see the confidence as well. I imagine that just comes when you're doing things on the level that you're exposing them to, including this upcoming weekend you're going to be performing in a band competition. Tell us more about that.
Yes, we will be in Darlington, South Carolina at the Keith DeBrew Battle of the Bands. This will be our 5th competition this season. We'll perform our field show, and we'll be going up against, I think, about 7 or 8 different groups from around the state and North Carolina.
That's amazing. Now tell me about this May. You're getting invited to perform in the nation's capital at the Memorial Day Parade in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
How did that happen? And when the kids heard the news, what was their reaction?
Well, Senator Jim Clyburn nominated us to represent our area, and we were chosen, so we were very excited when we heard about it. So now we're just in the midst of preparing for that. Of course, it's a trip of great magnitude, so we have a lot of preparation as far as music performance, but there's also funding to be able to go. So we're in the process of doing that. We have some fundraisers, of course, accepting donations, of course, as well. But the children are excited because sometimes this is their only form of travel. And so to be able to say that on my high school band I went to Washington, D.C., it's a big thing. So
that is a huge thing. Congratulations to you all in advance. Here on Soda City Live, we just don't like to talk the talk, right? We like to walk the walk.
Okay.
So coming up after the break, we are going to get y'all a phenomenal performance by the Manning High School Band. Tell us a little bit about these students before we go to break and what we can expect for this performance, Mr. Jefferson.
All right. Well, these students are from ages in 8th grade all the way up to seniors in high school. You're going to see some dancing. You're going to see some playing. We have our color guard. We have some members of our dance line as well, and the drum majors. You're going to see a mixture of playing and choreography and movement. So it's going to be exciting.
It is. All right, everyone stay tuned after the break. Much more Soda City Live when we return.